Hello Tamers and welcome to the BT14 tournament, the Blast Days Rumble. These are the 8 decks I've chosen to participate. As for this last deck over here, by rights it should be Secret War Greymon, but because I'm kind of tired of playing Greymon on this channel, I've decided that I will showcase the new Greymon support in a separate video, perhaps an exhibition match. So instead, our final challenger is going to be another dinosaur Digimon that receives support in BT14, one of my favorites, the Tyrannomon deck. Now it's time to determine the tournament matchups. Grouped together and shuffled. And in round 1, we have RustTyrannomon Ace charging straight in versus the Palmon Rosemon deck, green versus green, but with some red over here. Second match, it's going to be Secret Angemon and the Patamon deck versus the new Digipolice D-Brigade combo. Match number 3 is going to be Gomamon versus Sukamon, which means the final match will be Numemon versus Fenrir-Lugarmon. So here we go with round 1, Tyrannomon versus Palmon. Palmon's got the first move. Security setup. Digimon standby, let's open the digital gate. Hatching, Tyrannomon evolves into Palmon. Then, for 2 cost into Sunflowermon. Turnover, hatching, Tyrannomon evolves into Angoramon. And then, for 4 cost, the Tamer, Mimi, is played. Turnover, Sunflowermon is kept in the raising area. And for 4 cost, she counters with a Tamer of her own, Yoshino. Turnover, Mimi bumps the memory up to 3, draw, and Angoramon moves out. First, for 2 cost, it evolves into EX1 Tyrannomon. On evolve, if you don't have a Taiga in play, you may play one from your hand at no cost. And with a green Tamer play, Tyrannomon triggers 1 draw. Finally, for 2 cost, Tyrannomon will play Agility Training, searching the top 2 cards of the deck for a green card. 1, 2, they pick Master Tyranno. Turnover, Yoshino bumps the memory up to 3, draw, and she still decides to keep Sunflowermon in the raising area. First, for 3 cost, Palmon is played. On play search, 1, 2, 3, and 4. They grab 2 targets, Palmon and Lilamon. For 3 cost, they drop another Palmon, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they choose to grab Sunflowermon and Rosemon. Turnover, hatching, Tyrannomon. Now, combining the delay effect of Agility Training as well as Taiga's Suspend effect, reducing the evolution cost by 3. For 1 cost, Tyrannomon evolves into Metal Tyranno. On evolve, with 2 green Tamers in play, they suspend both Palmons, and the upper one is prevented from unsuspending during the opponent's next unsuspend phase. And with Angoramon's inheritable, 1 draw. Now Tyrannomon evolves into Angoramon. And now that the opponent's Digimon are suspended, Metal Tyrannomon will attack, aiming for the bottom Palmon. With Tyrannomon's inheritable, it gains plus 2k DP, rising to 10k, destroying the target. And with the piercing gain from Taiga, check, 3k on Sunflowermon, trash. Now for 2 cost, Tyranno will drop a second Agility Training, 1, 2, they search out Agumon. And finally, for 3 cost, Angoramon will evolve into the new BT14 Tyrannomon. He has a powerful start of main phase effect, so it's more effective to keep him in the raising area until the right time, rather than deploy him immediately with me. And with that, turnover, Palmon does not unsuspend, draw, and Sunflowermon is finally ready to bloom on the battlefield. With the new Palmon's inheritable, during your turn once per turn when this Digimon would evolve, if you have a green Tamer in play, reduce the cost by 1. So for 3 minus 1, 2 cost, Sunflowermon will evolve into Lilamon. On evolve, they may now play another Yoshino from the hand, but they do not have another. But with the already played Yoshino's effect, she can now be suspended to gain 1 memory. Triggering Tyrannomon during your turn once per turn when an effect suspends a Tamer, this Digimon gets plus 2k DP for the turn. Now, with Sunflowermon's inheritable, which is the same as Pal's, for 3 minus 1, 2 cost, the pink lilac will now bloom into the brand new Scarlet Rose, as Lilamon evolves into BT14 Rosemon. 1 draw. On evolve, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. They target Metal Tyrannomon, but since it's already suspended, nothing happens. And with that, she goes for security. With Lilamon's inheritable, security attack +1, coupled with the boost from Tyrannomon, Rosemon is now attacking for 2 checks on 13k. But not only that, on attack, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. This time they target Mimi, such that at this timing, Rosemon's second effect can trigger. During your turn once per turn, when a Digimon or Tamer becomes suspended by an effect, you may unsuspend this Digimon. First, 5k on Tyrannomon, trashed. Second, 1k on Agumon, trashed as well. And now by returning Yoshino to the hand, overflowing with the power of purity or sincerity in the English dub, Rosemon will temporarily transcend her limits, flourishing into the Snow White Rosemon Burst Mode. 1 draw. On Evolve, there are no targets left for her to suspend, and all of your opponent's Digimon and Tamers don't unsuspend until the end of your turn. With that, Burst Mode goes for security. And with her on-attack effect, for every 2 suspended Digimon and/or Tamers your opponent has in play, trash the top card of your opponent's security. Tyranno currently has 3, so their top security is burned, a Tyrannomon. But before Burst Mode's attack connects, Tyranno will declare Counter Timing. Amidst pouring rain and thunder, the true Dinosaur King will now be unleashed as Metal Tyrannomon is blast evolved into RustTyrannomon Ace. 1 draw. On Evolve, suspend all of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal than this Digimon, but there are currently no targets on the opponent's field, and since RustTyrannomon Ace only has 12k DP during the opponent's turn, it wouldn't have been strong enough to stop Rosemon after her first attack since she was at 13k with Tyrannomon. So rather than a counterplay per se, this is more of setup for the next turn. Now Burst Mode strikes. First, it's the option card Green Memory Boost placed in the battle area, and final security check for Tyranno, which is BT11 RustTyranno. Crushed. Finally, for 3 cost, Palmon will drop her little buddy, Lilamon, onto the field on play search 1, 2, and 3, and they grab Togemon. Turnover as Rosemon reverts to her original 4. Mimi, Taiga, and Ace do not unsuspend. Draw, but Tyrannomon moves out and unleashes its fury. At the start of your main phase until the end of the turn, when this Digimon would evolve into a card with Tyrannomon in its name or the Dinosaur Ceratopsian traits, reduce the cost by 1. So combining that effect with the delay of agility training for 4-3, 1 cost, Tyrannomon evolves into another Metal Tyranno. On Evolve, Lilamon is suspended and prevented from unsuspending during the next unsuspend phase. At the same time, the 2 Angoramon inheritables trigger for a total of 2 draw. Now, because of Burst Mode's on-evolve effect, during this turn, none of Tyrannomon's Digimon or Tamers can unsuspend. So even if they go into BT11 RustTyranno, they will not be able to use its all turns effect to delete 2 of Palmon's Digimon by battle. But now, the Tyrannomon deck has a new option. Since BT14 Tyranno start or main phase effect is applied to this Digimon, aka the entire stack, it is still applicable. So for 3-1, 2 cost, it's time to unleash the true brutality of the dinosaurs. With a thunderous roar, Metal will give way to Rust as Metal Tyrannomon evolves into a second copy of RustTyrannomon Ace. 1 draw. Once again, on Evolve, suspend all opposing Digimon with equal or less DP, but they all already are, and the new RustTyranno Ace attacks, aiming for Rosemon. And with its 12k DP, completely annihilates the 11k DP target. First, with Metal Tyrannomon's familiar inheritable, they trash the top card of the opponent's security, a Palmon. Next, with RustTyranno Ace's own effect. On all turns once per turn, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted in battle, trash the top card of your opponent's security, another Palmon. And because this effect triggers as long as an opponent's Digimon is deleted in battle, the other RustTyranno Ace triggers as well, and that's what I meant by setting up for this turn, trashing a BT14 meme. And now the final icing on the cake, Tiger's Piercing, final security check for Palmon, which is the option card Poison Ivy. On security activate main, one of your opponent's Digimon gains all turns. When this Digimon becomes suspended, lose 2 memory until the end of your opponent's turn. They target, well, doesn't really make a difference. They target the bottom RustTyranno Ace, but it's already suspended. Then add this card to your hand. But even with all that utter destruction, Tyranno can lose the next turn simply to Palmon's attack. But all their draws have enabled one final play. With the delay effect of Green Memory Boost, they gain 2 memory, and paying 8 cost, they drop a 3rd copy of BT11 Metal Tyrannomon directly onto the field. And with its on play, the target is Palmon. With that, turn over, neither Palmon nor Lalamon unsuspend, draw, hatching, a Tyrannomon, and right now, Palmon has no attacks. First, Tyrannomon evolves into Lalamon. Then for 2 cost, Lalamon on the field will evolve into Togemon, and then for 3 into a Lilamon. With her on evolve, Yoshino returns to the field, and now that you have a Green Tamer in play, both Lalamon and Togemon's inheritables are online, so for 3-2, only 1 cost, Lilamon will bloom back into BT14 Rose. 1 draw. First, Yoshino is suspended to gain 1 memory, and with Rosemon's on evolve, Metal Tyranno is suspended, triggering Rosemon's second effect, allowing her to unsuspend. And the reason why she can do this is because Metal Tyranno's stun only prevents opposing Digimon from unsuspending during the unsuspend phase. During the main phase, Rosemon can unsuspend as much as she likes. And with that, she attacks. Tyrannomon has no blockers on the field and no security remaining. It's a direct attack, and the match is over. The winner of the first round of the Blast Ace Rumble is Palmon.